on the hotel floor. I
Mhm.
wanted to know how that had happened to me. I think Arnold's credit, he's like, nothing. There's nothing you could have done better. It took me a really long time to forgive myself, to forgive the whole situation.
How Arnold Schwarzenegger kept a secret child in his home for 14 years. On September 27, 1997, Maria Shriver gave birth to Christopher Schwarzenegger. 5 days later, on October 2, 1997, the family housekeeper gave birth to Joseph, Arnold's son. Same house, same father, different mothers, 2 babies, 5 days apart, and only one of them had any idea who the other one really was. This is a story about a 14-year cover-up that happened at the breakfast table. A secret child who grew up playing with his half-siblings while nobody told him they were family. And a woman who spent more than a decade sensing something was wrong, asking questions, getting nowhere, until she cornered her husband in a therapist's office and made him say it out loud. To understand how Arnold Schwarzenegger kept this secret for 14 years, you have to understand what Maria Shriver gave up to be his wife. When they met in 1977, Maria was American royalty. She was a Kennedy. Her uncle was President of the United States. Maria was building a career as a broadcast journalist, earning her place in newsrooms that did not hand out anchor chairs to women easily. Arnold was a bodybuilder from Austria with an unpronounceable last name and a dream of becoming a movie star. He had muscles and ambition, but no connections and no pedigree. Her family thought she was marrying down, but she chose him when he had nothing but biceps and a vision. On April 26, 1986, they married at the Kennedy compound. 500 guests, Oprah Winfrey in attendance. It was the wedding of the decade. Over the next 11 years, they built an empire together. 4 children. Catherine in 1989, Christina in 1991, Patrick in 1993, and Christopher in 1997. Arnold went from bodybuilder to the biggest action star in Hollywood, Terminator, Predator, Total Recall. He was earning $20 million a film, and Maria gave up her anchor chair at NBC to support his career, to raise their children, to be the partner he needed. She traded her byline for his name. Her career for his campaign when he decided to run for governor of California. From the outside, they were untouchable. A Kennedy and the Terminator, the most unlikely power couple in America. But somewhere in that 7-bedroom mansion in Pacific Palisade, something was happening that Maria could not see, because it was happening in the staff quarters. In 1991, Arnold and Maria hired a new housekeeper. Her name was Mildred Baena. She was hardworking, reliable, and over the next 20 years, she became part of the household fabric. She was there 5 days a week. She cleaned their home, helped with the children, became invisible in the way that only trusted staff can become. In 1996, Maria and the children went away on vacation. Arnold stayed home, and during that time, in the same house where he and Maria were raising their family, Arnold had an affair with Mildred Baena. Not in a hotel, not at a party. In the home his wife had built for their children, Mildred became pregnant, and so did Maria. For months, 2 women were carrying Arnold's children. One knew exactly who the father was. The other had no idea she was sharing that status with the woman who vacuumed her living room. When Joseph was born on October 2, 1997, Mildred listed her estranged husband, Rogelio, as the father on the birth certificate. Arnold knew the truth, or at least he suspected it, but he convinced himself otherwise. In his own memoir, he wrote that he tried to convince himself Baena's husband was the boy's father. But as Joseph got older, it became apparent that he resembled Arnold. He knew. He just chose not to say it. And Maria, she knew something was wrong long before she knew what it was. Small things. A look held too long. A name spoken with too much familiarity. A second cup of coffee poured for someone who should not have needed it. She knew it during the years Mildred lingered too long in rooms Arnold was in. She knew it every time she caught a glance between them that did not belong to a housekeeper and her employer. She would approach Mildred and say things like, "I am here if you need to talk." And every time, Mildred would say no. For the next 14 years, Joseph Baena grew up under that roof. And every year, he looked more and more like his father. Picture this for a moment. Arnold sitting at the head of the table during a holiday dinner. Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher on one side, and somewhere in the house, walking through the kitchen, playing in the yard, was Joseph, his 5th child, a boy who attended the same family gatherings, the same birthday parties, the same Christmas mornings. Nobody told him he was their half-brother. Nobody told them either. Stay with me here. By the time Joseph was 8 or 9 years old, the resemblance was impossible to ignore. Same jaw, same build, same walk. People in the household whispered, staff noticed, friends wondered, and Maria heard those whispers. She kept asking Mildred if there was something she needed to talk about. Mildred kept saying no. In August 2003, Arnold announced he was running for governor of California. He went on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and declared his candidacy. His political team swept for scandals. They found allegations of groping. They found stories from movie sets. Arnold survived all of it, but they never found the boy. Joseph was 6 years old when his father became governor, and through both terms, through 8 years of Arnold being one of the most scrutinized politicians in America, Mildred continued to work in the Schwarzenegger home. She cleaned the house of the governor of California while raising the governor's secret son. Arnold made no mention of the situation to Maria. He made no mention of it to his political team. He made no mention of it to the consultants who ran his campaigns. For 8 years, while he governed the most populous state in America, the secret stayed hidden. Think about the institutional power that protected this lie. Arnold was not just a celebrity at this point. He was the chief executive of the 5th largest economy on Earth. He had press secretaries, security details, political consultants, opposition researchers digging through every corner of his life. He had enemies waiting for him to slip. And somehow, the boy who looked exactly like him, who lived in his house, who played with his children, never became a headline, not because the truth was hidden well, because the people who knew it were the ones without power. The housekeeper, the household staff, the people whose jobs depended on staying quiet. Maria was the First Lady of California during those years. She appeared at ribbon cuttings, charity galas, press conferences. She stood beside Arnold at bill signings. And the entire time, Mildred was back at the house, doing laundry, making lunch for Joseph, watching him grow into the spitting image of the man whose office had an official seal. And then, in 2010, while he was still in office, Arnold quietly purchased a house in Bakersfield, California, for Mildred, less than a year before he would admit to fathering her child. Consider what that means. He was settling accounts, preparing for the exit. He knew the truth was coming. He just wanted to control when it arrived. On January 3, 2011, Arnold Schwarzenegger left office as governor of California. The very next day, January 4th, Maria Shriver booked a couples therapy session. She did not tell Arnold why. In that therapist's office, Maria turned to her husband and asked him directly, "Did you father a child with our housekeeper?" 14 years of lying collapsed in one sentence. He admitted it. What makes this worse? Maria already knew. Before that therapy session, she had confronted Mildred directly. She asked her point blank, and Mildred broke down. She dropped to her knees and cried. She confessed everything. And Maria's response? According to Mildred's own account, Maria cried with her and told her to get off her knees. They held each other. That is not the reaction of a woman who was surprised. That is the reaction of a woman who had known for a while and needed to hear it out loud. She already suspected. She just needed someone to finally stop lying to her. 4 months later, on May 9, 2011, Arnold and Maria released a joint statement announcing their separation. 8 days after that, the Los Angeles Times broke the story. The world found out about Joseph Baena, about Mildred, about the 14 years of deception. Sit with that timeline again. Christopher was born September 27, 1997. Joseph was born October 2, 1997, 5 days apart. While Maria was recovering from childbirth, while she was nursing her newborn son, the woman who cleaned her home was in a hospital across town, giving birth to Arnold's other child. He sat at her bedside while she held Christopher, and he said nothing. For 14 years, he said nothing. Every time Maria kissed her children goodnight, Joseph was somewhere in that house. Every time she hosted a birthday party, Joseph was there. Every time she looked at Arnold and thought about the life they were building together, the evidence of his betrayal was walking through her kitchen, growing taller every year, looking more and more like the man she had married. And Arnold watched it happen. He watched Joseph grow up. He watched the resemblance become undeniable. He watched Maria ask questions that got closer and closer to the truth, and he kept lying. In the weeks after the story broke, Maria disappeared from public view. She had spent 25 years building a life with this man. She had given up a career, raised his children, campaigned for him, stood beside him through every scandal, and now the biggest betrayal had been happening under her own roof the entire time. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Maria described what happened next. She said it broke her heart, her spirit, What was left of her? Without her marriage, without her parents who had both recently passed, without a job to anchor her, the dam of her lifelong denial just blew apart. She described sitting on a hotel room floor in the dark, a Kennedy, a woman who had dined with presidents, a woman who had anchored national broadcasts, sitting alone in a hotel bathroom, wondering how to get up. The grief came in waves. Not emotional waves, physical ones. The kind that make your chest seize, your throat close, your hands shake so hard you cannot hold them still. She could not breathe right, could not think straight, could not make her body do what she needed it to do. She sat with her back against the cold tile and felt the room spin, felt 25 years collapse into a single moment of absolute vertigo. The floor was hard, the lights were too bright, and she could not make herself stand. She stayed there, minutes, maybe hours, the kind of crying that empties you out, the kind where your face swells and your eyes burn and you run out of tears, but your body keeps heaving anyway. A woman who had built a career on poise, on control, on never letting the cameras see her crack, and she was alone on a bathroom floor, unable to get up, and in that moment, she said something to herself. She said, "Maria, this does not have to be the end of you. It cannot be the end of you. Make it a new beginning of you." She was not grieving the man, she was grieving the dream, the life she thought she was building, the partnership she believed in, the family she trusted. Arnold admitted it publicly. He told reporters, "This is the worst thing I have ever done. It hurt so many people." The truth arrived 14 years too late. Maria filed for divorce on July 1st, 2011. The divorce was not finalized until December 28, 2021. 10 years of lawyers and private negotiations, no courtroom drama, no public accusations. She gave the tabloids nothing. When it was over, no spousal support was awarded. The financial details were kept confidential, but the real cost was never measured in dollars. What could not be divided was the family itself. When Joseph discovered that Arnold was his father, he was 13 years old. His reaction, according to his mother, was a single word: cool. He did not fully understand yet what that revelation meant. Over the years, Arnold built a relationship with him. They trained together in the gym. Arnold showed up at his college graduation. They posted photos together on social media. Arnold has publicly acknowledged Joseph as his son, but Joseph has never been part of the Shriver family that Maria built. In September 2025, Patrick Schwarzenegger married his longtime girlfriend. It was a family celebration. Catherine was there, Christina was there, Christopher was there, Maria was there, Arnold was there. Joseph was not invited. Think about that for a second. A wedding, a celebration of family. Catherine was there, the eldest, the one who married Chris Pratt. Christina was there. Christopher was there, the brother born 5 days before Joseph, the one who grew up in the same house without knowing they shared a father. Patrick, the groom, chose not to include his half-brother on the guest list. Reports have suggested a complicated dynamic between Joseph and his half-siblings. He is excluded from sibling appreciation posts. When Catherine posts about her siblings on Instagram, Joseph is not tagged. When Arnold celebrates his birthday with his children, Joseph is photographed separately. He appears with Arnold at the gym, at graduations, at public events, but he does not appear at the family dinners. He does not appear at the holiday gatherings. He is not in the frame when Maria is in the room. The public record tells the story more clearly than any statement ever could. On Catherine's birthday, Christina posts a carousel of throwback photos. 4 kids, no Joseph. On National Siblings Day, Patrick shares a tribute to his brothers and sisters. Christopher is tagged. Catherine is tagged. Christina is tagged. Joseph is not mentioned. When the Schwarzenegger siblings gather for a holiday, the photos that surface show 4 people around the table. Always 4, never 5. Joseph, for his part, posts workout videos with his father. He shares gym selfies captioned with pride. He celebrates Arnold's birthday publicly. He attended his college graduation at Pepperdine with Arnold in the crowd. But when the Schwarzenegger siblings post their own family moments, Joseph is a ghost. He exists in Arnold's world. He does not exist in theirs. That is not Joseph's fault. He did not ask to be born into this situation. He was a child who grew up not knowing who his father was, and when he found out, he was excited. He said one word: cool. He thought he was gaining something. He did not understand yet what he would never have. But the children Maria raised remember what his existence cost their mother. They remember the years of whispers. They remember the day the story broke. They remember watching their mother disappear from public view, watching her put herself back together piece by piece. And they have made their feelings clear through absence. not with public statements. With quiet, consistent, undeniable exclusion, the verdict was delivered without words. Joseph is Arnold's son. He is not their brother. Joseph is Arnold's son in blood. He has his father's jaw, his father's build, his father's love of bodybuilding. But he is not part of the family that Maria spent 25 years building, and that divide is Arnold's legacy. If you look at Maria Shriver today, you would not recognize the woman who sat on that hotel bathroom floor in 2011. She rebuilt. She hosts the Sunday Paper, a weekly newsletter with millions of subscribers. She appears regularly on Oprah Winfrey's podcast. She wrote best-selling books. She became an advocate for Alzheimer's research after watching her father, Sergeant Shriver, battle the disease. She carved out an identity that had nothing to do with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and she became a grandmother. Catherine married Chris Pratt, and together they have 3 children. Lila was born in 2020, Eloise in 2022, Ford in 2024. Maria is present. She is involved. She is the grandmother. Those children will grow up knowing. Arnold is also their grandfather. He and Maria co-grandparent. They show up at the same events, they sit in the same rooms, and according to both of them, they have found peace. Maria said in 2025, "I think Arnold and I have a great relationship now, and I think there will always be a love there." She also said, "I do not want to have hate. I do not want to have anger in my body towards another person. I do not want that in my life at all." Arnold has said, "We have moved on. We have a great relationship, all of us. It would have been easy to hate him. It would have been understandable. 25 years of marriage, 4 children, a career sacrificed, and then a 5th child she never knew about, growing up in her own house, looking more like her husband every year, while everyone around her pretended not to notice. But she chose to rebuild instead of burn. She sat on that floor, told herself to get up, and got up. The children did not have to say who they blamed. Their actions said it for them. Joseph was not at Patrick's wedding. He is not in the family photos. He is not tagged in the sibling posts. Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher chose their mother. Not with words, with presence, with absence. And Arnold? He got the son he hid for 14 years. He has a relationship with Joseph. They work out together, they post photos together. But he does not get to have all 5 of his children at the same table. He does not get the unified family photo. He does not get the legacy without the asterisk. Every biography will include this chapter. Every obituary will mention Mildred Baena. Every profile of his children will note that there is a 5th one, and he is not in the frame. He built one of the most remarkable careers in American history. Bodybuilder, movie star, governor. But when people remember Arnold Schwarzenegger, they will also remember the 14 years he kept a secret child in his own home, while his wife made breakfast in the next room. 25 years, 4 children, a Kennedy wedding, a governorship, and a secret growing up under the same roof. Maria Shriver did not just survive the most humiliating revelation of her life. She walked through it, sat on that bathroom floor, told herself to get back up, and built a life that did not need his name attached to it. What do you think? Should Maria have left the moment she first suspected, or did she handle it exactly right by waiting until she had proof? Drop your take in the comments. And here is what I want to know. Which divorce story do you want us to cover next? Comment the name below: Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, or maybe there is a Hollywood divorce that nobody talks about anymore, but you remember? Drop the name in the comments and we will make it happen.